Hello, in this video we are going to be looking at how to hook up mocap data to our character. Now the point of this class is to actually work a shot, so you're going to be turning in different passes of that shot. So we're going to use mocap data, that way you don't have to waste time on actually animating the character. And to do that we're going to use what is called humanIK. Dun, da, da. So once you go into humanIK you get this screen over here, and basically we're going to create a character definition. Basically, this little mocap guy here is the guy that comes out of Motion Builder, which is where you deal with a lot of the mocap data. And what we have to do is tell Maya how our joints for the rig that we have here correlate with the joints over here in the mocap dude. It's pretty easy to do. Just click on your joint. Right now we have the hip root selected. Right click on the hips and say assign selected bone. And it'll turn green. And you're basically going to do that for every joint in our rig here. Da, 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 da. Be careful, sometimes it doesn't pick up the other side. And you have these little arrows that open up different views. So like I can go to my left foot view to do my ball joint. Go back up, go to my right foot view, do my other ball joint. Oopsie. And you're basically just going to go along and assign all the bones to a cool Mr. Mocap dude. Now the spine starts here, so you want your back 0 to go here. Don't worry about it turning yellow. All yellow means is that it's not the exact perfect rig that Motion Builder is used to. And then I'm going to go to my spine view, and I'm basically just going to pick walk my way up. And don't worry about it looking a little different. And I'm just using the down arrow on my keyboard to pick walk. And then I'm going to go up, keep on working my way up here. So I'm going to go into my neck. Neck 1. And then my head. And then I'm going to kind of work my way out the arms. I'm going to go to my shoulder view for my clavicle bind, my clavicle end, and then my arm, and my elbow, and my wrist, and then do the same thing on the other side. And work my way down my arm, and my elbow, and my wrist. And you see how it turns to the yield sign. Now basically what that means is it has enough information to know what we're talking about. It's not exactly what it's looking for if it were to come right out of Motion Builder, but there's enough information where it knows what we're talking about and we can move on. So once we get to this point, we can go ahead and lock our definition, the little padlock. And then I'm going to go ahead and rename it because I don't like anything named character 1. So I'm just going to click on the blue square, say edit character definition. Oh, rename character right there. And I will call him Cave Troll. You are Cave Troll. So now we have our Cave Troll defined. Now we can actually bring in the mocap data. So to do that, I am going to go to File, Import, and go to our mocap files, which are the control animations. And you can choose any one of these you want. The only ones I would stay away from is the crazy dance. He tries to grab his foot while he's dancing and makes a fool of himself, and the proportions are really different. And the range of motion. The range of motion is just really long. So you can just grab any one of these and import it. And that brings up cool little mocap dude. Yay! So right now, if I just hit play, you'll see little mocap dude be doing his little mocap thing. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 da. Pretty cool, huh? So now what I want to do is I want to get these two guys to talk. And that's actually pretty easy. If you look in our characters, we now have Ken character, which is the little mocap dude, and we have Cave Troll. So what I want to do is I want to set my character to Cave Troll and my source to Ken character. And you'll see how my rig jumps up. And that's actually going to make them mirrors of each other. So now when I hit play, dun dun da 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 da, we have motion. Yay! So you can kind of go ahead and play around with that, see if that's the one you want to work with or not. And what's cool about this is if you go ahead and import in a different one, it'll automatically update. Bam! So you can kind of play around with each one and see which one you want to go with. And now we have that data connected to our character. So that's kind of how humanIK works. Pretty cool. So once you decide on which one you want to go with, the next thing you want to do is set up your camera angle. Because remember, we're going to be working a shot. This whole month is basically going to be graded off of playblasts. I'm not going to look at Maya files unless you don't turn in playblasts. Just like in the industry, whatever's shown on the screen is our final result. So once you decide on which animation you want to go with, the next thing you want to do is set up your camera. And I'm just going to create a new camera. And I will call you render cam. And I'm just going to hide my polygons for a second. And then I'm basically going to see how this plays out. Maybe over like this. And don't worry if your hands go out of the frame a little bit, that's cool. But you just basically want to end up with a nice good shot that's going to show the movement of the character pretty well. And I kind of like that. Yeah, that'll work. So once you decide on that, then you want to lock down your camera. That way your camera's not going to move around on you. Now, I am always very paranoid about Maya. So I like to double and triple make sure things are safe. So the first thing I always do with my camera is select it and just hit S on frame 1. That'll set a key on it. That way if I ever do accidentally move it, I just hit rewind, it'll pop right back. But then I also will go through and take all my channels over here and lock and hide them. That way I physically can't move my camera. Just kind of a double check. That way if you accidentally unlock something and move it, you always have that keyframe kind of as a backup. So that's basically where you want to be for your first checkoff. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a play blast of this. So I'm going to right click on my timeline, go to my play blast options, and I want to do H.264. You can do like a 50% scale for now, but eventually you're going to want to do 100% scale and just do a play blast. Dun, 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 dun. And just like that, bam! There's your first checkoff. Pretty cool, huh? You don't have to have anything bound yet for your first checkoff. You'll notice that the binding isn't due until the end or the beginning of the 3rd week. I give you 2 full weeks to work on the bind, but you do want to get through this relatively quickly so you can start working on your bind. Your bind is going to take quite a bit of time. Cool, cool.